Uh, yeah. Uh, uh, Green leaves for the tree smoke. Told her come and see keys for the D-stroke. Yeah. Big nigga with the slit top. 2-7 got motherfucking pill walk. Yeah. Gon' get that ass up for a real nigga. Kiss your booty, let the chills, nigga, yes, Lord. No pass, but I play hard. Stack it all up the money in the go yard. Hey, take that, need a new ass make back with the top all off. Fit in the inside step back. About to take off jetpack. You can make that bet that. About to shoot my shot, though. You can bet I wet that. Hey, yeah, it's keys, baby. About to hit you with the heat, baby. Feeling like I just won 3P, baby. No man, he ain't stacking up to me, baby. Ain't big boy pockets when I'm post up in the paint, yeah. 2 fingers when I'm playing in the paint, yeah. Couple shots by the burn nigga face, yeah. Silly rappers, I ain't never finna chase, Hey, don't be alarmed. Thought you knew we go hard. PG, big dogs on the yard. Hey, thought I told you no style. Let me sip my drink. Get on this thing. Big killers when I slide to the bank. Need a house in the hills, no hang. Now come up with the phone, even though that shit's fake. Hey, had to go and level up my rank. Hey, fresh fans, even though they ain't legs, yeah. Every year I saw a social with the text. Got the green leaf fast when I'm rolling up the day. Let's smoke. Let's smoke. Let's smoke. Let's smoke. Let's smoke. Don't know what I should do with myself. Shot myself in the foot and I'm screwing myself. Get the check. Don't know what I'ma do with the wealth. Probably spend it on myself and I use it to help somebody else. Wait, somebody help. I need assistance. He talk about her interests. I listen. Because I'm good at that. Taking off on these bitches. I ain't looking back. Feel like Tip with the crooked hat. This my verse. Where the hook is at. I think I'm almost done. I can break it down for you. Get a one-on-one. Like so, not to say I probably don't know me. And you hit me once a week and ask me how this shit going. I can tell you, it's going real smooth. About to get that big check. I ain't never gonna score. Yes, sir. I've been saying that since 11th grade. And speaking of it, can you take me back to them better days? I need that. And I miss it. Coming back home. Let you know when I'ma visit. Hey, don't be alarmed. Thought you knew we go hard. PG, big dogs on the yard. Hey, thought I told you no style. Let me sip my drink.
What up, everyone? How we doing? What a fun season, man. I gotta tell you, I had to take a day off because, listen, like, I genuinely go into a little bit of a depression, which is natural, right? Like, look, the way we lost the game wasn't exciting. Like, I mean, it wasn't like the way I wanted to lose the game, but you can't really blame the refs. There was one pass interference call that was like, listen, that's a variable against the Chiefs and the way the officials have been this year I can live with. Because, look, we've gotten a call or two per game, too, a lot. So it's hard to, like, I cannot say it was the officials. And, I always say the most important thing to me is that the players stay healthy, all right? Players stayed healthy in that game. We were down a lot of our linebackers. Tony was out for them. I don't know if that was an injury or not. But, dude, Andy Reid's just a better coach. Josh Allen outperformed Patrick Mahomes statistically, and like they were talking about after the game, like, man, Patrick Mahomes hasn't had over 250 yards in like 4 or 5 straight games. But it's kind of like the Lamar Jackson thing. You don't have to when you have a great coach and a complete team. But listen, man, it's hard because I saw the comparisons to Scott Norwood, and it was like, Brad, it's. I can't say that game really was. I can't. I'm not going to say that because I don't think it was. I think it was one of the, again, my favorite game I've ever watched as a fan also is a game that I hate the most, and that was the 13-second game with the Kansas City Chiefs. Best game of football I've ever watched in my life. The whole Diggs thing, Diggs came out today and said he wants to be a part of the team next year. He can't, if we didn't target Diggs, I have so much to get to, but if we didn't target Diggs, it'd be one thing. Diggs had 8 targets, only 3 catches, and if Diggs catches that, like, beautiful pass, absolute beautiful pass from Josh Allen. If you guys didn't see it, go watch it. I had to go back and watch it. I saw it in live time. I saw the replay, and then I went back and watched it, and I was like, holy cow, that was a beautiful pass. Diggs just didn't catch it, and he knew it. He's been outperformed by Khalil Shakir, so has every other receiver in the league as far as catch rating goes and catch percentage goes. Khalil Shakir is the number 1 receiver in the NFL right now as far as catch percentage goes. It's absurd. He's got like an 83% catch rate. That's bonkers. And it's just like, dude, he's like, I need someone on the other side. We have it now. We have Khalil Shakir, right? And we have Dalton Kincaid. And listen, I almost said Singletary. James Cook is looking so good. He's looking so good. Ty Johnson looks good. Like, we got some pieces in play that I'm really excited about. Not having our linebackers killed us, and the reason I say that we got outcoached by Andy Reid isn't just because he was a better coach, but he took advantage of the things that he knew were our weak spots. It was the middle of the field, and I said it the whole time. Kelsey's been weak. He hadn't scored since week 11, I think they said, against the Philadelphia Eagles. We had no middle of the field, and we tried to compensate for that by pulling people in. It was just, they outcoached us, and we just succumbed to our weaknesses. Jacob Copeland's our first card here. Well, dude, I think we did. Like, Josh Allen ran for 2. Like, listen, when you score, what was it? Was it 27-24? Josh Allen had 3 touchdowns, 2 rushing, 1 pass. Like, he missed a guy in the end zone. I mean, he missed Shakir in the end zone. There's no ifs, ands, or but about it. Like, but, dude, the guy played lights out. And I'm not mad about it. And it's funny. Like, all right, so I want to get to a couple things. This goes out, actually, speaking of the devil, that goes out to Kansas City Chiefs. I'm going to put it this way. The Chiefs fans actually, like, won with some dignity. Like, they weren't like, you know, we have the Chiefs fans like, you can't beat us no matter what. They're not wrong. I'm not mad about a true statement. We can beat them in the season. We own the season. They own the postseason. They own the games that matter. There's no other way to say it. What are we going to argue that? Hey, this guy's playing this week for the Baltimore Ravens. Slam. You got the Zay Flowers. This guy's the bomb. Yeah, Michael Thompson, you're not wrong. He still should have made that throw. He got like a little, like, and not illegally, but like a little bump by Chris Jones, and it affected his throw. A legal bump. But like it was a bump nonetheless. It knocked him off. But like, do you know who the worst fans? And if you're in here and you maybe won't be one of these types of fans, but what team was the worst fans at the Miami Dolphins? And I get it, man. I'd be miserable too if no matter what, I just couldn't find a way to win my division. It was the Patriots for a decade and a half. Now it's the Buffalo Bills. And they are bragging, oh, we finally got this division, and then they lost it. Look, I get it. They're a little butthurt, and like, they're a little sour. But like, I've never seen a fan base so celebratory of another team's loss when they weren't the other team. Like, it's the most insane thing I've ever seen. And they're like, posting all this negative stuff about the Bills. I'm like, did we play you in the playoffs? I'm pretty sure you lost to the Chiefs. We didn't even hurt you in the playoffs. You just can't beat us in the season. There's nothing wrong with that, right? Like, Kennedy Brooks out of 99. You want that Ray Lewis. Kennedy Brooks out of 99. But a couple things. I saw, like, the negative. I got to get to some of the negativity. I saw that someone posted that one player on the Chiefs reported that they didn't have hot water. Nobody else came out to say it. And then, like, the story started circulating. Just hear me out. It's like negative degrees in Buffalo. And if everyone else got hot water and you didn't, maybe they didn't shut it off. Maybe you just didn't get hot water. It happens even in big facilities. This goes out to the Philadelphia Eagles. So whether that's true or not, I don't know. It wouldn't be the first time a team did that. I would hope my team didn't do that, you know. And then the other thing is they said that Tyler Bass had to deactivate his account because he was getting death threats. Listen, the Chiefs and Bills fans donated over $25,000. The fans donated over $25,000 to a pet shelter that supports cats, and they have had the most cat adoptions they've ever had at that facility. The people sending him death threats, 90% of that, I don't have statistics, but I would put my bank on it, that 90% of those aren't necessarily Bills fans as much as they are football gamblers. And they lost money because he missed that. Bills fans don't hate a guy who misses a kick. We've been through far worse. Are we like hurt? Are we saddened? Yes, but if you learn anything about the Buffalo Bills fan base, we stand behind our players. This is not Philly. No offense to pure Philly fans, but like, you guys know, even Philly fans will admit, like, oh yeah, dude, we're ruthless, right? I have some Philly fans like, we're ruthless. Don't wear your jersey. Don't do this, dude. I'm just saying that a true Bills fan's not going to make it that fair. It's someone. Oh, another Ravens player, Kyle Hamilton, another good one. Kyle Hamilton for the Ravens. But so they were the negative things, the water turning off and the death threats the best. But you know what? He's already felt the love from Buffalo fans, and a Desmond Ridder out of 99 Atlanta Falcons. But regardless, I've heard a lot of people that aren't even like my father-in-law. He follows football. He used to be really into it. He's like a Cowboys fan, but he just doesn't really get into it anymore. He hasn't been like a strong fan for a while for multiple reasons. But he goes, man, I keep reading this whole thing about this Raven Niners setup. And I even talked to some guys in our group that are Ravens fans today, and they said, I just don't want it. They, as Ravens fans, this was their take. They said, I want the Lions to beat the Niners because I don't want to hear that, of course the Ravens and the Niners are in it. The NFL wanted it from the beginning. And, dude, I feel that. Listen, if it were like, oh, the Bills and the Lions were projected to be the winners all season long, they wanted this, they blah, 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 I'd be like, shut up. Like, it's inevitable, right? But it is a hard thing to ignore when you start to look at when people are like, well, here was the last 4 Super Bowl logos, and here were the colors, and here's who ended up. But like I told my father-in-law, I told him this. I said, listen, it's very easy to look at a logo with multiple colors and try to pinpoint the fact that it wasn't set. Like, you can spin that a lot of ways, so we got to be careful. Because that could just as much be the Chiefs red, you know what I mean? And a Lions blue. Like, I'm just saying, like, I haven't looked at it a ton because I just don't buy into, like, that kind of setup. This is a Devin Brown, the first one out of 30. Ohio State Buckeyes. So we do have some cards at the end. Don't forget we'll ran them off. But yeah, I saw Harbaugh for the Pittsburgh Steelers to Marvin Leal is like, he didn't. I have heard that Belichick to the Falcons is all but a done deal. I have now heard that the Chargers have offered Harbaugh this insane contract. I heard it's unfathomable what they're offering him. But they got to have that, right? Like, it's now or never with that team. Like, they got some squad. They got a squad. Travis Dye out of 30. I believe it's a Jets. Going to confirm. But, dude, here's the other thing, too. I'm going to say this. Don't be the kind of fan. Like, look, I'm pissed my team's out of it. I'm hurt. I'm saddened. I was distraught. Like, I mean, I am. I still am. But I'm trying to be one of the better fans because here's what I hate about fans. Fans like what I heard from Dolphins this week that are talking nothing but trash. And it's like, well, listen, you haven't won a playoff game since 2000. You haven't been to a Super Bowl since 1985. You can keep bragging about the one that you won and say we never did win one. I get that. But it's like, dude, come on. Like, just play, just support your team. And if you don't make it, just like swallow it and swallow your pride and be like, all right, next year. That's where I'm at. Khalil Shakir for the Buffalo Bills. This dude, I'm excited for this dude, Jason Franklin. That's how I feel. I'm like, you're talking. All these fans are talking trash on Josh Allen. I'm like, what? Like, dude, go handle your own quarterback situation. You got some problems in your own team. Don't worry about my quarterback. I'm all right. Another Desmond Ridder. This one out of 99. Sweet patch there. Atlanta Falcons. Tate Taylor. You got a pair of Ridders. Who knows what they're gonna do there with him? I mean, right now he's their guy, right? It is football. It's more than just football, though. For me, football is family. The reason I was so heartbroken is, we had this whole big party planned if we won at my house, tons of people. So it's more than just football. And, like, here's the thing I say. I get why you're upset when your team wins. I just, you know what I felt like? I felt like I just wanted one more game with my team. You know how you're like, I just wish I had one more day with this person. I just wish I had one more moment on this vacation. I just wish I had one more bite of this delicious meal I just had. It was more like, man, we played a hard-fought game. It is what it is. They beat us. I love that I can't complain about the refs. I hate when that lingers over. I can't complain about the refs. I can't complain that, like, outside of the players that didn't enter the game, we didn't lose any major players during the game, right? There were a couple players that had to dust their shoulders off and get back on the field, but it was just an awesome football game. Another awesome football game. I'm going to do the prison next. And then, you know what, you're just more, I'm more sad that, I don't get one more game with them this year. But I will tell you this, going from a team that had 6 wins and was told, we were like 6-6 and we were told there's no way we're going to make the playoffs. We had a 9% chance to make the playoffs. Dude, we got 2 bonus games. We did what we after that Broncos loss. We did the only thing I said we would do if I was going to watch another game, and that was fired Ken Dorsey, and we did. And then we only lost one game under Joe Brady's helm at OC, and and that was against the Eagles in an awesome game, another awesome game this season, overtime. But they just turned it around, and you know what I love? We don't really lose anything next year. Even if Diggs went away, it's not the end of the world. His catch rate was not good this year. I would miss him, but I'm all right if he wants to, explore other options. We'll figure it out. Josh Allen got so much better this season. He after at the Bengals game last year when he was up all night. If you all don't know the story, apparently the night before the Bengals playoff game this year, the cops were at his house. He didn't sleep. His girlfriend broke up with him. I've said this a lot before. I know you guys have heard it. But he went through heartbreak, man. That guy went through a life change. He was with that girl forever. He lost another playoff game. Came in. He did not like having Dorsey there. And, after they lost Dorsey, it looked like, there's a Will Levis, it looked like he kind of got his shit together. Paris Johnson Jr., that's going to be a silver rookie. So I'm hoping that carries over in the next year. Travis Kelce, that's that green, cracked ice. That's a beautiful card. But yeah, great game. Could have gone either way. She took your phone from you. Jace, listen, it wasn't that. It's just dude, don't come at me this early. You guys know I try to be as respectful as possible. I was like, nah, this ain't the time or the place, dude. You gotta save that shit for next week. You know what I'm saying? This was not I was not going against the Chiefs. I wasn't belittling the Chiefs. I was just man, this sucks. It just they sucked. And that's what Josh Allen said at the end. He's like, I losing sucks. It just sucks. But guess what? Someone's got to win the game. And most of the shit talking didn't come from the Chiefs. It didn't come from the Ravens or the Niners or the Lions. Or it came from teams that weren't even in the playoffs anymore or never made the playoffs. And I was like, man, who are you again? I think you've been out of it for a couple weeks now. And it's just so funny. All these fans that want to talk about Josh Allen sucks and this. The dude ran for the Chiefs defense is great. And yeah, it's always the teams that kind of suck or don't. Ooh, there's our checkerboard. Love those checkerboards. Or that are out of the playoffs already. And ooh, that's nice for the Houston Texans. There you go, McGinn. I don't know why I let it get to me. And that's what I said. To me, it's Mahomes number one. And then you got a choice at number two with I even include this guy in this, but Burrow and Herbert and Lamar. And I put Purdy in that, man. You got some guys in there that are just ballers. We have a youthful... Someone pointed out, too, if Mahomes is the only current QB in the league that has a Super Bowl win... How was it? No, because Stafford has one. And is it Hurts that has... Hurts doesn't have one. Does he? No. I forget when their last one was a while ago. Josh Reynolds, a game he had, right? But to their point, there's not a lot of quarterbacks in the league right now. Your active guys, your Drew Brees, your Peyton Manning, your Tom Brady, your Eli Manning. Those guys, it's going to be a Zach Harrison going out to the Falcons. It's a lot of guys who haven't even been to there's a lot of guys who haven't even won a playoff game yet. All these Tua fans, man, Tua hasn't even won a playoff game yet. It was. They've always had home field. Yeah, that was his first road game. And what a great game it was, That kick goes in. And that's what someone else... I'm even if that kick goes in, dude, Mahomes had got the ball back. It wasn't like that game was over. Yeah, I'm not trying to offend my Niners friends. I love Brock Purdy. I love Christian McCaffrey. But being a Bills fan and knowing what that drought is like and understanding, how much I want to see new teams in it, I think a Ravens-Lions Super Bowl would be really cool to see. And listen, this isn't. I'm not saying this. I mean this when I say I'm not saying this because we lost to the Chiefs. It's not like I'm over rooting against them. I love the competitive matchup. I mean that game got 500 million views. I want another Chiefs Bills match right now. But the Lions and Ravens are two teams we don't get to see a ton. I would love to see that be the Super Bowl. There's a silver checkerboard. Are they all that? That's a Brian Robinson for the Commanders. Awesome checkerboards. There's a Bateman, a Jaron Hall, Andy Dalton. So if you're asking me who I'm rooting for, and I'm not saying this to make enemies, the game I would enjoy watching the most would be the Ravens and the Lions. But, you know, I'm probably getting a bunch of people. Oh, look at that Joe Burrow for the Bengals. That's pretty cool. Chris Taylor, that's a sweet card. I like these retail boxes. The parallels are pretty exclusive. Marvin Mims. And Alex Singleton for the Broncos checkerboard. And Jamar Chase, Emergent Green. Very cool card. And that'll be our retail box. Now, you can get autos out of those. No guarantees. He's like, who was it else that did that? Like Revis, Darrelle Revis. And, you know, like even the receivers have done that. Didn't what was his name that used to put... wasn't it Chad Johnson that used to send people like the cornerbacks gifts like Pepto-Bismol and stuff? I forget what that whole story was, but I like the guys who chat, and then if they lose, as long as they don't run their mouth afterward. Like, all right, take your lumps, you know? It's all right to run your mouth. Get the game exciting. It's like fighters who do the press conferences and do the weigh-ins. And, dude, that's part of it. As long as as long as you take your lumps, right? You don't just still talk shit afterwards. What is that, Slam? All right, we're going to do a Valiant, and then we'll end with Eclectic. Guys, we did fill Absolute up already. But yeah, hey, 500 million views. Or was it 500 million? Is that what it said? Or 50 million? I forget what it was. Can't be 500 million. It had to be... I don't know how many it was. But either way, it broke records. I heard someone say, yeah, but it was the only game on. I'm like... I'm just like, can I say something? Yeah, it's always the only game on. The divisional games are always played one at a time. So if it broke the record, it means it was the highest watched one of all time. I just love it, like someone was defending it. Like, of course it was. It was the only game on. It's always the only game on. I knew that. I said, I'd be curious to see how that compares up to like even these matches this week and even the Super Bowl. Keelan Robinson, 2022, 1 out of 4. I saw that, Slam, 2 weeks in a row. That's pretty wild. That's awesome, man. So, this is going to be another NIL card that gets random. We'll have a few at the end. Here's a Jaquari Robertson. That's going to be 2 out of 7. You guys did not win the $100 credit because of the Bills. It's my Bills' fault, I promise. I know that. But, yeah, you had the Bills, Lions, Niners, Ravens. I'm sorry that my team could not. This goes out to the Dallas Cowboys, I believe. Don't worry. They let me down every year, so get used to it if you're betting on the Bills. It's actually gonna go out to the Rams. Was the last team attended. Rams. Oh, I didn't get to watch the Lions game. Ask Slam. So listen, Saturday we had a wrestling tournament all day. Xavier Hutchinson, and then Sunday we had a meet, and it started at noon, and we were supposed to be out there by 3. And they asked me to work a table. So I was like, and you cannot, if you're working a score table in wrestling, you can't look away. You can't look at your phone. You can't do anything. So I put it away. I put it in a closet. This goes out to the Texans. Houston Texans, Matt McGinn. That's a cool looking card. So after the little kids are done, the lightweights, they go into the heavyweights. I was like, I'm going to head out. They're like, can you please stay and work? I'm like, how do you say no to that? You got volunteer coaches. I'm like, yeah, I got it. I'll work. So I stay and work. And we're getting close to the end. I know the game's on. It's almost halftime. I taught Paxton how to go check my phone for the score. And then as soon as I get done, I hadn't pissed all day. I run to the bathroom. I hadn't pissed all day long. I run to the bathroom to take a piss, and I voicemail Slam. I'm like, dude, this line game's looked like it's been good. Like how's it going? How you feeling? Like checking in on him because I just looked at the score. And he's like, are you pissing on that message? Yes, I was, Slam. I was. I took a piss while I messaged you. You should have seen the guy in the urinal next to me. He was like, what the fuck, dude? Malachi Nelson going to go out. He's another collegiate. USC. I heard someone say that, too, about, the Bills only sell out their stadium because there's nothing there to do. I'm like, okay. And your point is? I'm like, because I was saying to a Miami fan, I'm like, oh, this is Jaden Reed. This goes out to Green Bay. I don't have to look this up. Ricky Stotler, that's a nice one. 5 out of 7. I like that card. That's a cool background. Who are you guys talking about that won't be back next week? Treylon Burks for the Tennessee Titans, 9 out of 10. Nice card there for you, Jace. I'll still send it to you even though you're a jerk. I appreciate you apologizing, man. You don't have to do that. I know how it gets at the end of the game. You're probably on your high adrenaline. I let you go. K-Dub, take it to the house. 3 out of 3 for the Seattle Seahawks. Larry, C.J. Gardner-Johnson. Wasn't he a Jet and then an Eagle? And now who's he with? You guys? He's been all over, man. He must be a troublemaker. If teams are willing to get rid of that kind of talent. This is a college guy. Nico Imaliva. Yep, it goes to the Tennessee Volunteers. Ooh, it's a 1 of 1. Autograph, pre-production, proof. Oh, it's a good one, too. It's a gold circles. Prismatic gold circles coming up. Dude, that's sweet. For the Tennessee Titans, Jace. Treylon Burks. Oh, yeah, so he talked about when someone got injured. I don't like when anybody supports injury, man. I would rather lose a game and watch both players or both teams keep their players healthy than see a player get hurt on the opposing team and win that game. I don't like it. I don't like it for the player. I don't like it for the integrity of the game. I don't like it. It's not cool. And something else to address, by the way. Even though that affected my team, and I said it to my family before I even posted anything, I was like, I don't care. I'd give up that fumble if it meant they'd change that damn rule. Because it got the Chiefs this time, but it's going to get us this time. And it's going to get every one of your teams one time. And it's going to piss you off. I don't care if you agree with it or not. That rule, if you are driving and you drive 98 yards and you get down there, I mean, they stopped the 4th down fake punt. They get all the way down there. That ball should go to the spot of the fumble. But that's a sweet card. So far, so good. We got Eclectic left. Nice break so far. But yeah, I know some people are still like, it's a good rule. Listen, the only thing, and it was funny, someone chimed in that ref college football for a while, and it just doesn't follow any of the rules. It just doesn't make sense. It doesn't follow the rule book. It's like a specific rule for the goal line, and none of it really makes sense to me, but is what it is. Will they change it? I don't know. I don't know if they'll change it, but I do know that I personally don't like the rule. I mean, it benefited us, and I'm still saying that. 7 out of 8, Javante Barnes. By the way, at the end of this, guys, we will be randoming off all these cards. We got a bunch to random off, and everyone's eligible, so don't go anywhere. For the Jets, Israel Abanikanda, 1 of 1. Did anybody guess that? Oh, I love watching Gibbs. He's one of my favorite players. I got him in a bunch of leagues this year and did not get him in any dynasty leagues because he just went earlier than I could afford him. Oh, no, maybe I did get him in one. But I don't know if I can keep him because it's only 5 players. And I know that sounds crazy, but my team, like I got some good, like CD and Stroud, you know, who's my other, I have another really good receiver. Like, let me ask you this. Dynasty League, you can keep one of these guys. Who are you keeping? Non-PPR, Gibbs or Tank Dell? Who are you keeping? It's going to go to the Washington Commanders. Dougie Berger with the Sam Howell, Jahan Dotson, 6-6. Jamie says Gibbs. I'm torn on this because it may come down to that. And the last one is going to be Carson Beck, 6 out of 10. So we are going to have some really nice randoms here. So don't go anywhere. And at the end, we'll still be giving 2 $5 hitless credits. And we're going to be giving that week 3 fantasy spot. So don't go anywhere. You all said Gibbs over Tank Dell. See, it's crazy to me. I am like all in on Tank Dell, but it's a tough decision for me. I think Tank Dell is going to be like, we're going to be talking about him like we're talking about. So, like, who would you rather have? Gibbs or Justin Jefferson? Gibbs or Jamar Chase? Like, because to me, Tank Dell is going to be the name we're talking about in the mix with Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase, those top elite receivers. I think that's who we're going to be. Tyreek Hill. Like, it's going to be top 5 receivers, and Dell's going to be mixed in that all the time. All right. All right, guys. We're going to do a recap here, but also I'm going to random these up, so don't go anywhere. And then 2 $5 hitless credits, and then of course we're going to be getting an absolute break as soon as I check payments. Our checkerboards weren't bad. I like that they give you a few of these. These are sharp. Brian Robinson, Alex Singleton, and Zach Harrison. We had the Will Levis, the rookie Paris Johnson, Prismatic Travis Kelce green, and a Joe Burrow Portals green crack. 2 very cool cards. And then we got the Fireworks CJ Stroud. Such a sexy card. That card is gorgeous. For our hits, we had Xavier Hutchinson going out to the Houston Texans. Guys, I do want to say, man, thank you so much. A lot of you guys reached out and just said, hey, sorry for the tough loss. And then I saw some of you guys be like, yo, lay off of them. Like, kind of have my back. Like, I just got bullied. It felt good, though. I felt the love. I felt the support. I really did. So I appreciate you guys very much. Some of you guys waited till the next day. I could tell you knew I was mourning, and I was. Khalil Shakir for the Buffalo Bills. I didn't wake up the next day. My wife let me sleep in. I'm still feeling it, man. I keep watching these highlights, like what ifs, and it's the worst thing you can do. I can't imagine what players go through. DeMarvin Leal for the Steelers. I cannot fathom what these players go through. There you go, Slam with the Hamilton. Like Bass the kicker, Josh Allen missing a throw, maybe the defense not tackling when they could have, losing coverage to let Kelce score on that one. Like, that shit has got to haunt them. Diggs dropping the ball. Like, that shit, I'm telling you, those players probably have fucking nightmares, dude. How, if you're Stephon Diggs and you complained and bitched and pissed and moaned all season about feed me the ball, and then you get fed the ball and you drop it, how do you not have nightmares about that? How do you shake that off? That's gotta what puts you through your workouts, like, going forward. This is a nice card for you, Larry. The Seahawks, Kenneth Walker, 3 out of 3, the 3rd out of 3. Treylon Burks of the Tennessee Titans going out to you, Jace. I mean, that's the shit that's got to fuel your workouts big time. Ricky with the Green Bay Packers, you got Jaden Reed, and a Zay Flowers as well for the Baltimore Ravens. That numbered out of 35. 101 for the Jets. Israel Abanikanda going out to Donnie. And we got a pair of Ritters here for the Atlanta Falcons. One's out of 99. The other one's out of 99. One's an auto. One's a patch auto. Tate Taylor, nice pair there for you. And then we have for the Washington Commanders, Sam Howell, Jahan Dotson, both for the Redskins. That is a 6 out of 6. And then another 101. We had 2 here, but no one guessed them. Treylon Burks, Israel Abanikanda, both 101s. This one going out to Jace as well. All right, guys, we're going to random these in a particular order. Let me see how we're going to do this here. All right, it's out of 15, so that's going to be first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, we'll do it this way. First, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth. We have 9 to random off. So bear with me for a minute. Guys, everyone's eligible. We do them each separately. And then at the end, if you didn't get a hit, we'll put you into 2 $5 hitless credit pool. And then, of course, everyone's eligible for that week 3 fantasy spot. Now, I do have to give away the prizes for this week yet. Unfortunately, I think it's Floyd that had the Bills. He was our last paper football standing. So he is, our paper footballs are officially over. But we have our FanDuel season long. We have our FanDuel weekly yet. Or our postseason FanDuel and our weekly postseason. This is going to go out to the Seahawks. There you go. They already had one. Excited to break our first box of Absolute. So Mad. It was supposed to be here last Wednesday. Then it was rescheduled on Friday for snow. Then they rescheduled it again for snow, and it was on Sunday. Of course, they won't deliver on Sunday. So Monday rolled around, and they never come before 3 o'clock ever from FedEx. That goes out to the Titans. So my wife, she had stayed at the game at my parents' house watching the Bills game, and she was going to leave at half. And she's like, well, I'll stay for one more quarter. But can you bring me lunch tomorrow? I'm like, yeah, sure. Go to get her lunch. Don't they freaking show up at 11:45? I left 10 minutes before, and it was signature required. So we finally got it today. I'm sorry we were so late on it. But Phoenix comes out Friday. That goes out to the Bills. Javante Barnes for the Bills. Jason Franklin. We got a Devin Brown here. I like doing this at the end. It's a little extra work for me, and I know some of you guys are like, the break's over, but it's not. It's like some of these cards, especially if these guys enter the draft, and the Panini stuff's coming out so late, and Top stuff is coming out so late, as the draft rolls around, I would organize your stuff, LA Rams on this one, have them ready to go, because on draft night or leading up to the drafts is your perfect opportunity to sell these cards to fans or people that are interested in these players. There's nothing wrong with that. You know, people want to be the first, just be the first to market with some of these cards. I don't know if I'd call it first to market, but, if you put it on a site fresh, be ready to go. And we've talked about this when we did the podcast. Being organized is the key there. Another one of the Rams. Back to back for the Rams. That's the Jermaine Burton. This one's going to be the Malachi Nelson. That's the one you said you wanted, Chris? Oh, no, Trader. Who did you say you wanted? Yeah, not all of them are. Not all of them are, but hey, some of them might be Heisman candidates. Some might just be like exciting players in college. We have this now, right? Like it's just a different market. And I think being organized now more than ever is important, because having them organized for what school they're at or what their potential draft pick is, or by alphabetical order so you can search for a player. If he has a big week, that's going to go out to KC there. Next one up is Keelan Robinson. So I think that's important. But guys, also thank you so much for filling this up today. I was worried for a minute we weren't, and I needed it. Yesterday I took the day off intentionally. I did have the Prism. This goes out to Detroit. But I took the day off because I knew I had to get my mind right. Because, listen, I try to be, like I said earlier, I try to be like this responsible fan and try to be the bigger fan. Dude, I just knew there was still too much salt in that wound to not be angry. So I let my thoughts get together. I kind of composed myself as much as possible. That's why I don't know, like Stephon Diggs didn't want to talk after the game, and everyone's like, he didn't. Would you? For the love of God, would you want to talk to anyone? I don't care how much you get paid. That goes out to Casey as well. I don't care how much money you make. I don't care. You're still a person. You're a human being. You don't want to talk about it. Being rich and getting paid a lot of money doesn't mean you should have to talk to media people that want to pry and treat you like garbage. If those people were respectful, it'd be one thing. But dude, if you're composed enough, I think it speaks volumes of guys like, Allen and all the quarterbacks. All the quarterbacks seem to do a really nice job. That's going to go to the Bills. A lot of the same teams hitting on this. Carson Beck, Bills, Jason Franklin. But like, man, would you guys honestly want to talk to the media after a loss like that? Hell no. And it'd be fine if you're going to answer legitimate questions. But like, what are you thinking after your drop there, that big throw from Josh Allen? Do you think it would have changed the outcome of the game? Like, what? Yeah. Get the fuck away from me. Yeah, what of? What happened there? Could you just not catch it, or was it thrown too? Like, bitch, you watched the play. You know exactly the answer to that. I didn't catch it. Like, I can't. Like, the questions they ask, it's just like bullying. It is. That's all it is bullying. I feel bad for the players that have to answer this question. All right, here we go. Everyone eligible for Week 3 fantasy spot. Although I don't know if I posted it yesterday, but I did see the guy who would always ask Belichick dumb questions. Like, funny ones, though, and he would be the only reporter that could get Belichick to smile. If I didn't, I think I shared it, but if I didn't, I gotta find it and post it. I don't know if I was in the mood to post it yesterday. It's gonna be Philadelphia Eagles, Jeremy Wilson, Week 3. Yeah, well, that's what I said, Jason. Everyone's like, you just can't beat the Chiefs. I'm like, but we have some really good games, right? And I love it how people are like, yeah, just like your old Super Bowls, 4 in a row, 4 losses. I'm like, you act like going to 4 Super Bowls in a row isn't an accomplishment. It's just, I wasn't like old enough to appreciate that or feel that loss. But it's like, okay, but you know, we went to 4 Super Bowls in a row. That in its own right is insane. You won your conference 4 times in a row. I'm like, and then they're like, yeah, but we at least have a Super Bowl. In 1985, you have 1 Super Bowl ring, and you're going to sit here and talk about it? Like, were you alive then? And if you were, how old were you? Like, were you a fan, or you just heard about this? Have you ever went back and watched it? Right? Have you ever watched the Super Bowl that you won? Like, it's just funny. I'm like, okay, like, whatever, I guess. I mean, if that makes you feel better for losing the division 4 years in a row to a team that was 6-6 this year, like, whatever you got to do, but oh, was it what year did the Dolphins? I'm talking about 1972. It wasn't even 8. It was this 1972 was the only year they won. So all these people talking about it, I can almost guarantee they weren't alive. You would have had to be, what, like, so that's 10, 11 years older than me. See, if you are not 50 years or older, don't come at me about how your team has a Super Bowl. If you weren't alive when they won, you don't get to say, well, my team has a Super Bowl. That means you picked it after they did. You picked the team after, like, you were born after they won. That's like if you're born now and you're like, I'm a Chiefs fan. Like, or I love this. We saw this out to eat the other day. Bunch of people wearing Chiefs sweatshirts, clearly brand new. And you ask them, how long you been a Chiefs fan? Oh, about 2-3 years. I'm like, what? I'm like, who'd you root for before that? And they're like, no one really. I just like Patrick Mahomes. I'm like, I mean, that's fair enough. At least you're honest. I'll respect the honesty. That's what I mean. It's like, that's what people are like, how did it feel to lose 4 Super Bowls? I was like, I don't know. Like, I was still running around trying to see if there was any, like, ice cream left while they were playing. I don't like no one. I didn't watch a game. Now, I went back and watched them since then to, like, feel it and see it, but yeah, that's what. Oh, did they win one in 83? But were they in it or did they win one? Oh, they've won twice. So it looks like when were they? 72. So they're in a stretch. 72, 73, 74. They won in 73 and 74, but they lost in 83 and 85. So they've been to 5 Super Bowls and they're 2-3. So they have one less Super Bowl loss than the Bills. That's the other thing. Like, it just cracks me up. They got shellacked in some Super Bowls. 3-24 against Dallas. So, like, we did. Yeah, that's my thing. Is like, I go from 99, because 1999 is the last year I can genuinely, the first year I can genuinely say I remember being a big fan. Well, 98, but like 99 was when I was a Doug Flutie fan, right? And he got us to the playoffs. It was the year like Kurt Warner was having that crazy season. The Titans were good. We won. We got in the playoffs, and they played Rob Johnson week 17. Flutie had gotten us there, and then they played Rob Johnson week 17, and he played well, but it was a meaningless game. This is why they didn't play Flutie. And then they're like, we're going to start Rob Johnson in the playoffs, and I'll never forget like what. And I would have been 16 years old, so like. I had played fantasy football and stuff, but that's the first season I really remember being like a Bills fan. You know, like, ugh, it was me. It was a part of me. I was embedded in it. That's the truth. So yeah, I mean, I've seen some heartbreak, and I started at like the worst possible time to start being a true Bills fan. You know, I wore Bills stuff as a kid and did all that, but. Guys, I am checking payments here too, so I'm just going to hang out for a minute here. I'll turn it off here in a second. But you're welcome to hang out and chat for a minute. Oh, shoot, I got to do this. Oh, Brett, you and Franklin are both Falcons fans. Dude, I know, I remember everything about that Super Bowl because my wife and I, we had just, that had to be, I want to say, was that in the 2016 Super Bowl? Like it was in February 2016? Or no, it had to be 17. So the 16 season, 17. Because Paxton was super little. Yeah, Paxton was super little. I remember we were up in our like attic bedroom watching it, and I was like, "This game's ridiculous," and I turned it off. And I didn't check it till the end, and I was like, "Holy fuck, what happened?" I couldn't imagine going through that. Like that, and like I remember specific like. Where I was for very, very specific plays. When Justin Jefferson caught that pass, I believe it was against the Saints. But that long pass to get him into the playoffs, get the Vikings further into the playoffs. Like, I just like little things, you know. And someone said at the beginning, it's just a game. I'm like, it is, but it isn't. Because if it was just a game, a lot of us wouldn't care so much. You know. All right, guys, I'm gonna log off and check this. Yeah, Diggs caught it when he was with the Vikings. Minnesota. It was Diggs against the Saints. What did I say? It was the Vikings. Diggs against the Saints. And I always liked Diggs. I liked Diggs when he was with Minnesota. And all the Vikings fans are like, you can have him. I was like, yes, I've wanted that dude forever. I like Diggs. I still do. Oh, I said JJ. You know what I meant. The good one. No, I'm good. I'm good with the trade. I'm glad they got JJ. I'm glad they got a good receiver out of it. I like Diggs still. I'm hoping that like this is a pure reset for the Bills. I really do. Like I said, I don't feel like we lose anything. We need to just drop Vaughn, get rid of that contract. He got paid. I saw a thing today. It was Vaughn made $5 million per tackle this year. And again, he was good for us when we signed him. Once he tore that ACL at that age, like, dude, it ain't happening, boss. Nobody at his size and at his explosive position, the way he was explosive, I knew then and there I was like, we're going to still have to try to keep him, but it ain't going to be pretty. And then dealing with all that legal battle that he dealt with, I think like I said before, Gary Vee talks about this a lot. There's a lot more personal stuff that goes on that we don't give like any mind to, and we need to. So I'm going to check these payments here. Oh, this isn't right. That's because I missed that. All right, guys, I'm going to log off here so I can focus on this. I'll be back. Come hang out again.